right, guys, so this entire instructional tutorial here is going to be on developing speed, the hows and the whys, and everything that's related to sprinting really fast and becoming a fast athlete. And although there are limiting factors as far as genetic gifts and stuff like that that may affect just how fast you can get, every athlete in a baseball diamond can get fast enough to be effective and efficient with their sprinting and their running and be a problem for other teams with that ability. Right? Everybody can get at least that fast. It's just a matter of working it and putting in the time and effort that's going to require, just like it takes time and effort to be a great hitter, be a great thrower. Okay? So when we look at the principles of speed, we got to look at two factors. We got to look at the whys and the hows. So why is speed important? Why is it going to make me a better baseball player? Obviously, hitting and throwing, that's where it's at, right? Hitting and throwing is what baseball is all about. But everything else that is not related to hitting and throwing is run-based and sprint-based when it comes to baseball, right? An ability to get to a ground ball effectively, a hard-hit ground ball, is an acceleration drill that requires speed and proper sprinting. Same thing getting to a hard-hit pop fly and you're an outfielder. To get to that ball, you got to be able to run fast. Now, if you're talking about stealing bags or getting extra bases, that's obviously a speed-driven skill and ability. Right? So those are some of the whys. On top of that, we're talking about inoculating the system, right? So the more we train the body to sprint and the fitter we are at sprinting, the less likely we are to get injuries. Similarly, the better we get at sprinting from a mechanical standpoint, the less likely we are to get injuries. The number one injury in baseball is not a shoulder or an elbow injury or even a wrist injury. It is a hamstring pull. The better we can run, the better we can sprint, the less likely we're going to spend time because of these muscle injuries that we can get from running. Right? Finally, there is some transfer and some transcendence from being able to sprint really fast and having mechanically sound sprinting to exercises like throwing and hitting, because it's such a fast, rapid motion of relaxation and then extreme violence at the same time that it highly relates to throwing and hitting. So how do we make somebody that's not naturally fast, or somebody that is fast but has a tendency of getting injured, how do we make them fast and safe, right? So the first thing is the mechanical approach, right? Understanding what a sprint looks like, understanding the different phases of a sprint, right? Within a sprint, you have the dry phase, which is getting out of the blocks, getting out of a two-point stance, and getting the body moving and creating momentum, breaking inertia. From there, we have the transition into what maximal velocity is going to look like, both from a mechanical standpoint and also from a feel and biomechanics perspective of putting force into the ground with different angles and different amount of time that you actually get on the ground as you transition through a sprint. The other part is the physiological capacity. Can you absorb force in top-end sprints so that you can deliver that force back into the ground? Can you spend minimal amounts of time in the ground with maximal force production? Can you hit the floor with the right angles because your muscles are strong enough to do so? That part is going to be the physiological component, right? And basically what we're trying to get out of this is we're trying to get a really strong feel of pushing our body out into space, delivering force into the ground, and climbing taller and taller and taller into a sprint, like if you're like an airplane taking off, right? From a rhythmic standpoint, you want to feel a motion of where you're hitting the ground, you're hitting pa, 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 and into an explosion, right? That's the rhythmic part of sprinting. We put this together, and you can be an effective sprinter.